Welcome to the Velocity Podcast. I'm so excited to be talking about this topic and how it relates to you. Facebook, in the history of Facebook, in 2023, they actually lost money. Okay, so this is a big idea, but I'm going to bring it down and make it really practical at the end of the video, so stay tuned, or at the end of this podcast, however you're consuming this content. All right, here's the big deal. Facebook started, it became a monster, and it grew and grew and grew until like 2012. So many people were on it, and everyone's like, this is a monster platform. And Zuckerberg is a genius. You got to give it to him. He has knocked down any competitor who has started to climb its way up the hill. The first notable one was Instagram. Zuckerberg saw that Instagram was stealing content, stealing time, and people were scrolling and spending a bunch of time on Instagram, and he knew that was going to hurt his pockets and the pockets of his stakeholders, more importantly. So what did he do? He bought up Instagram. And he bought it for $1 billion. And I don't know if you remember at the time, but that was a wild amount of money. I mean, people were talking about it. And so many people were saying, Zuckerberg's crazy, Facebook's crazy, that was so overpriced, it's not worth it. And they had all these opinions about it. And Zuckerberg just was like, we'll see, essentially. And see, we did. Instagram, scooped up by Facebook, just started growing like crazy. And all of a sudden, Facebook makes even more money. Fast forward a few more years, Snapchat comes on the scene, that 24-hour story, a message that disappears. And Facebook's like, oh my gosh, again, people are leaving Facebook to jump on Snapchat. We need to stop this from happening. Let's buy this company. And they offered some ridiculous amount of money. But this time Snapchat was like, no, not us. You're not going to buy us. They couldn't buy Snapchat. So what did they do? Well, if you remember, Stories was invented for Instagram. They 100% ripped off Snapchat. Travis would say that. I can't remember. I did read an interview with him, and he's like, no, we stole that idea. They stole the idea of that disappearing, content that only lasts for 24 hours. And Stories is one of the best features of Instagram, in my opinion. And actually, people are consuming it a whole lot more than ever before. So if you are on Instagram, make sure Stories is part of your strategy. Sometimes it can be easy as, hey, look what I'm doing right now. I'm creating a podcast. Make sure you tune in. This will air in 2 weeks or whatever. It could literally be anything. But people are consuming Stories like crazy. Well, then what happened after that? Facebook still was reigning high. They were still king. They just, anytime anyone comes up, they just literally steal the idea. And then TikTok came. Now, TikTok was a different creature because TikTok didn't ever proclaim to be a social media platform. Blake Chanley, he is the president of the Global Business Solutions. He said that, no, here's the downfall with Facebook. They are a social media company. And because they are a social media company, they are beholden to the social media graph. So Facebook has built itself as being like the great connector of people, and you can stay in touch. And I don't know if you remember any of like the promos, but it's like stay across. If someone's serving overseas, you can stay in touch with them, and you can find your old high school friends and all this stuff, right? It's a social network. It's literally a social network. We have friends, we have families, we have acquaintances, maybe coworkers on our platforms. We want to see how they are doing. Well, TikTok was like, no. We're not doing that. We are an entertainment app only. Sure, you can follow your friends, but we are here for entertainment. And the big difference between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even Snapchat is we want to see what our friends are doing, so we go online, and that's how the algorithm works. TikTok, on the other hand, you don't have to spend time building up a network of people. You don't have to spend time promoting your brand to like your friends and families and just painstakingly building your audience. You could potentially get an audience like that. And I think we've all seen videos that just like blow up out of nowhere because, again, they're an entertainment app. They're not based on social networking. They essentially hacked the algorithm system. So they rejected the social graph, and they are competing against Facebook using a totally different game. Now the question is, how is Facebook going to respond? Well, we know, they told us. They basically said, okay, vertical videos are like a really big deal. We're going to force that into the algorithm, into the feeds, And slowly over the last year or so, vertical video has become like the number one creating content to consume on Instagram. And they have been pushing it to Facebook, and it's working really well. Like as I scroll through Facebook, you see that bar of like many different videos you can see, and it's never the same thing. So on my like bar, you see like 2.5 videos. It'll be like Big Bang Theory, maybe SUV, and then maybe like a marketing guy like Gary Vee or something. And then you can scroll through and you see even more. And it just might be a random clip from a movie or maybe from a friend or whatever. That's how they're competing. Once you click into the video, all you do is get sucked into that algorithm essentially. And you scroll and you scroll and you scroll, and it's all vertical videos until you scroll out of it and you can get back to your feed. So in my opinion, Facebook designed that very, very well, although it wasn't received with open arms because people are like, we don't want to see that kind of stuff. We're on Instagram and on Facebook to connect with our family and friends, and your algorithm is putting in too many sponsored ads, and now we're seeing all these vertical videos of people we don't necessarily want to see. So Facebook is at a crossroads, and that crossroads is showing in partially in that loss of money that they had in the first quarter of 2023. All right, so what does this have to do with you? What does Facebook potentially falling as king of social media have to do with you and your brand, whether it's a personal brand or a business brand? Well, number one, I just want to say, do not put all your eggs in the Meta basket. Facebook and Instagram are still great. The numbers are still there. As someone who does this kind of stuff, I for sure am using 100% Facebook and Instagram for myself and for my clients. But I also recognize Facebook can't last forever. Meta has made some bad moves in the last year. They're really focusing on the metaverse, which may or may not be a good thing. And I don't know what the future holds, but at this moment in time, there's a lot of tension coming in with that. The money that they're putting in the metaverse, the tension of the algorithm that people are unhappy with, and then this competition coming from another side. So I personally started this year really focusing on making sure I made TikTok videos and YouTube shorts. I don't want all my eggs in the Meta basket. I don't think that would be good for anywhere. Also, LinkedIn I've been focusing on too. I never remember to say LinkedIn. It's not my favorite platform, but it is important. Okay, so number 2 lesson. So businesses, Facebook potentially could be seeing the beginning of the end. So you don't want to put everything in the Meta basket. Lesson number 2 is you need to focus on vertical video. YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Reels are all about the video, the vertical video. And that's what you need to be about. Like it or not, it's a thing. Now, there are many different ways. If you don't love being on camera, there are tons of ways around it. And that's a whole other podcast or it's a whole other video. But listen, you need to consider putting it into your calendar. So summer is basically here and you might not want to do it then, but set a date. Just be like, okay, mid-September, I'm going to change my strategy and start including video on it. For my clients, I'm really pushing the video, like super putting people on the spot, being like, you need video because this isn't going to work. Your numbers aren't going to be there. You're going to be unhappy with me because you're not doing the thing that these machines want, and that is vertical video. So thousands of hours are being consumed. I don't even want to exaggerate. It could be like millions of hours per day on vertical video. So make sure you take some time to do it. Here's the good news about this vertical video. Okay, so in 2012, when we started being like, oh, Facebook's here to stay, businesses need to jump on this bad boy, we had to do horizontal video. We were still kind of caught up in like high production value because we were coming from like still commercials and TV and stuff like that. Well, this is so simple. You grab your phone, you hold it, vertically, and you speak into it. Share a tidbit of information, share an entertaining story, share anything you want. The quality doesn't have to be perfect. That's good news for everyone. You don't have to be crazy, like high production, everything's perfect. Just speak from your heart. People connect with people, right? And I think a lot of people they just kind of step back into that like high production TV commercial type of viewpoint where it's like you have the lighting, you have the sound, and by all means, like lighting and sound is so important. You can buy really cheap things on Amazon. I'm just going to say it. You can buy microphones, you can buy lights, and they are very cost effective. So just do that and get in front of your camera, because vertical video, that's the real winner of this Facebook, TikTok, Instagram war. Vertical video won. Okay, the other good news about vertical video is it's short. So not only do you not have to have this huge, costly production, you don't even have to have a lot to say. It's not a long form content piece, right? All you have to do is just have like 30 seconds, 10 seconds worth of something to say, which we all do. We're all in our businesses. We all know interesting industry facts. So just set up your camera and say something interesting about your industry. If you're a restaurant, just be like, hey guys, I'm in the restaurant today. It's Monday, which means it's Burger Monday. Stop by for a burger. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to be dancing. A lot of people are like, I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing. I have no desire to dance online. I'm way too old for that, and I'm not coordinated enough. So I will not be doing that. That's not the point. The point is to get out there. So there's lots of ways to do it. If you do need help and creative ideas, that is what my team is here for, and we do that all day long for everybody. But I just wanted you to keep those two things in mind. So in the bigger, boring financial news, Facebook's in trouble, the shareholders are unhappy, things aren't, and like in all honesty too, like what did we expect? Facebook, when did it come to be? I keep saying 2012, but that's just when people started taking it super seriously. It might have been like 2007, 8, 9, but you can't always have that upward trending bar graph, right? Like it's like money, money, money. Eventually they did have to stop. So finally it was like money, 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 and the peak has started to crash. So something to keep in mind. Again, pretty boring, but if you kind of dive a little deeper into what that means for me and you, it means that something is brewing and there might be another big change when it comes to marketing. So you want to stay on top of it. So again, don't put all your eggs in the meta basket, and make sure you are creating vertical content. All right, thank you so much for watching this video or listening to this podcast. I couldn't do it without you guys, but what I really, really need is some reviews. So if you're listening on Spotify, please take a minute to give me a review. If you're on YouTube, feel free to share this link. I like talking about things. I like bringing business, big ideas to a practical, something that we can like practically do and walk away with. So again, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.